Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Home Depot out in North Houston, Texas. It is a beautiful day, and I was able to visit my grandmother, so I wanted to do a little bit of an update. But for now, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My Instagram name is @GrowFolds. I'd love for you to connect with me directly. You can send me a direct message if you have any questions about the plants or just want to connect with me in general. It is a beautiful afternoon, and this was footage that I shot when I actually visited my grandmother. I wanted to get updates about how she is doing, and so this is a small town out in North Houston, Texas, and you would be surprised about some of the plants that you will be able to see at this location. Let's just say that I was able to find the elusive Costa Farms trending tropical plant that for some reason I haven't been able to find in the North Dallas area, which is where I am based at. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie, and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. So hopefully today's shopping excursion is going to be an exciting one. I will also give you updates of my pet chicken and some more details about my grandmother's plants, which I will show you because I was able to pick up some of the plants that she was propagating and getting ready to sell at a farmer's market. Unfortunately, she had a little bit of an accident, so she decided to just send some of the plants with me so I can do a live Instagram selling story for anybody that's interested. And you can see right here, this is my grandmother's plant. So she has a lot of black magic begonias. This is literally the plants that she has propagated. They're fully established and ready to be sold. So stay tuned for my Instagram story sell for some of her plants. There is that Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. I know we have a specific plant foldie that had inquired about getting that plant from her. So we'll see what that all looks like. All of the plants that I sell will go toward her funding. So anybody that wants to go buy a plant from my grandmother, please leave a comment in the comment section. This is just one of many baskets that I ended up getting of some of her plants. They're mostly in 3.5-inch planters ready to be shipped. So I will give you guys more details, but as you can see right here, these are the plants that are available from my grandmother, and I'm really excited to see that she still has that passion to grow plants. For those that don't know, she actually had a little bit of an accident where she fractured her hip. Thankfully, she is a strong woman. She is resilient, she is adaptable, and she is on the road for recovery. So for those that are just tuning in to see big box or plant shopping videos, I did want to just put it out there for the plant foldie community that were concerned. Thank you again for all the prayers and support that you've given my grandmother and myself. I'm really excited to show you that these plants are going to be available. I will post them as an Instagram story with the plant price as well as the shipping for the plants. I am able to ship pretty much all over the United States. So let me know in the comments section if you are interested in some of her plants that she has available. There are more plants that I will be picking up from her when I'm able to visit her again in North Houston. So as you can see right here though, I mean, lots and lots of plants. The black magic begonia, the Epipremnum pinnatum. We've got a Syngonium Thai pink splash. She's got some Tradescanthia sabrinas in the works, and there are some Aglaonema that I just didn't get to pick up. You already know plant foldies. We all love Aglaonema here. So again, just because my grandmother is just kind of resting in bed, if you have comments for her, she will definitely read them on this video. If you are interested in purchasing plants from her, I can ship them out. Just send me a direct message on Instagram once I post this up. But in terms of just the big box or plant shopping videos, I am excited to finally get a couple under my belt in terms of having them available for the big box store plant lovers. I know plant foldies, I've had a little bit of inconsistencies in getting some of this YouTube content out. So thank you for those that are being patient with me and just really spending some time and giving me that opportunity to share some of my plant content. look at the details of these beautiful begonia, I can't just help the fact that my grandmother easily gets these plants to grow and live their best life. So now we are actually at the Home Depot out in North Houston, and we're going to be looking at Proven Winners Leafjoy. So this is the H2O bowls that they have. This is a Syngonium white butterfly, although with Proven Winner plants, especially their Leafjoy series, they have different names from them, but you can see that this location, this Home Depot location, is in a small town in North Houston. And I love the fact that even small towns with big box stores can have some amazing plant finds. And wait till the very end of this video and you will see what I find. I'm super excited to share that with y'all today. But you can see we've got a begonia black mamba. So this is a Rex begonia. Love that dark foliage that Proven Winners has available. These are for $9.95 in ceramic planters. We've got another type of Hoya right over here, and I absolutely love this one right here. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit of time to talk about some of the outdoor gardening plants. They have the Karumas right over here, which are the flowering gingers. It looks like Costa Farms has released a bunch of those, but you can see this particular one right here is quite interesting. And then we're going to go ahead and spin around and take a look at some of these other plants. Again, plant foldies, feel free to leave in the comment section what you think, and have no fear for those that are not into the outdoor garden plants. Wait till you get to the indoor tropical plants later on in this video and you will be amazed of the selection that I find. And you can see that this Kuruma, which is basically a flowering ginger, is only for $12.98. Now, it is listed as an annual, but in certain grow zones, these can actually be a perennial. They can be grown in a container. They do prefer to be in a more shaded area. And you can see that these are different types of hybrids. So there's many different colors. I love the look of this particular plant. You know, in terms of like a tropical type plant, a lot of people are utilizing them as like a shaded patio garden plant, and one can be said about caladium. So I love the look of caladiums. This one is for $7.98 by Vigoro Plants. I would say if you're looking for caladiums, Home Depot is one of the best big box stores to go plant shopping for caladiums. And you can see we've got a sea of different types of caladiums. I love the vibrant red colors. I know that I've asked during a previous live premiere on a poll whether you would grow caladiums indoors, and the majority of plant foldies have actually mentioned they would not. Totally understand why, because it is a bit of a challenge to try to grow caladiums indoors. There are certain plants that are a little bit more challenging to acclimate or adapt as an indoor house plant, and I would say caladiums are one of them because they go into dormancy. So unless you're giving them bright light, like growing under a grow light, giving them a warm climate, they may end up going dormant. So let's see what else we can find at the Home Depot Garden Center. Home Depot is one of my favorite places to go. I know that I do a lot of my big box or plant shopping at Lowe's, and the reason being is Lowe's does have a lot of consistency when it comes to having Costa Farms trending tropical plants or house plants in general, but Home Depot definitely has amazing plants in terms of the Proven Winner Leafjoy plants, which are the tropical house plant line by Proven Winners Plants. So we're going to definitely see that. But as you can see right here, this is a small town north of Houston, Texas, but you can see that this has a huge impact in the amount of plants that they have available. You'll see that we have a sea of Tradescantia sabrina. Really like the look of that. My grandmother actually propagated several of these, which I will eventually have on my Instagram stories for you to purchase via online. So I'll give you guys more detail as I get that situated. Hopefully some plant foldies will be interested in her propagations. Again, I do ask anybody that might be interested in purchasing plants from my grandmother and getting them shipped to your doorstep. Feel free to leave in the comment section if you would be interested in what plants you're looking for. But as far as the plants at this big box store, Home Depot, I am loving it. It looks amazing. We've got different types of plants. So this is the Proven Winners line. You can see that this one is for $6.48. This one, as far as the tag, is 100% recycled plastic material, which I like. And I would even say that in terms of houseplants, there is a lot of waste when it comes to the plastic containers, the planters, the soil substrates, etc. So I'm glad that, you know, nurseries are a little bit more conscious about like just the waste that is produced and how do you actually utilize materials where they are recycled materials. Over here is another Proven Winners plant. This one is a lemon coral. It's more of a ground cover, $6.48. It almost has like a succulent type vibe about it when you touch the textures of the leaves. And you know, Proven Winners, they are definitely plants that I would recommend, both the outdoor garden as well as the indoor tropical plants. Definitely the Leafjoy series. But you can see Proven Winners has perennials right over here, where basically if your grow zone has a plant that can be a perennial, you don't ever have to replant that plant. It will come back year after year. I love the look of this neon colored plant right here. This is one that I have really thought about potentially trying to grow indoors, but again, as much as I want to experiment with certain plants, I've spent a little bit more time on my free days to kind of arrange my plants. I know that the majority of my aglaonema, for instance, are growing outdoors. The plants that I do have indoors, I've been taking care of a little bit more closely. I've been a little bit more consistent with the watering. I've been getting rid of dead leaves, really curating and manicuring my plants. So hopefully I can get my plant situation arranged for my house plants. For those that did enjoy my lifestyle blog on the YouTube membership tier, know that if I do a house plant tour, a massive, you know, maybe 2 to 3 hour house plant tour, it will only be on my YouTube membership tier for the Super Plant Foldies. So again, if you are interested in joining my YouTube membership tier, it is only for $2.99. If you are watching this video on a computer, you can press the join button. Otherwise, there will be a direct link you can click on that I will have pinned in the comment section. So that's something to look forward to, and I am just really excited to show you what plant discovery I found at this Home Depot. I was actually not expecting it at all, but that goes to show that if you go to a big box store, sometimes you will be pleasantly surprised. Don't sleep on a big box store. You never know. You might find that elusive houseplant that's been trending, and it is really at the palm of your hands, and you wouldn't even know it unless you explored all of the big box stores. So for me, I know that I'm taking a little bit more time showing you the Kreiona plants. I mean, I just love the blooms. Let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, if you guys actually enjoy blooming plants or flowers. I love them. I have a bunch of zinnias. I've actually been feeding zinnia flowers to my chickens, of all places. That is a good source. And we're going to just look at a little bit more Kreironas right over here. And for those that are interested in updates of my chickens, I am going to have just a little chicken update right over here. But for now, I'm going to show you the Kreironas. In just a second, I will show you my chickens. Please do not click away from the video, because at the very end or a later part of the video is where I will have the indoor tropical plants. But a lot of you guys seem to be engaged with Charlotte and Kreiona. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a clip so you can see that they are living their best life. This is just them early in the morning, just really enjoying their lives. And I love Kreiona. That is my Rhode Island Red, the orange brownish one, and then Charlotte, which is a little bit more of a friendly hen. That one is my Barred Rock chicken right here. I feed them a lot of spinach. I try to give them lots of fresh food, and you can just see right here, they just decimated some chia seeds that I actually got to sprout. So I give them fresh greens that I grow myself to give them some fresh food daily. And I really think that that has impacted their plumage. I think that they are beautiful chickens. Feel free to leave in the comments what you think. And I know some plant foldies have asked for more clips. So here you go. So I'm just going to show you a couple of clips of my beautiful hens. And here is another clip of Charlotte and Kreiona eating a half slice of watermelon. Luke actually sliced a watermelon and gave it to them as a treat. They absolutely love it. And I will tell you, by the end of the day, the whole watermelon was just wiped out. And it's a really good treat to give your chickens, especially when you have really hot summer weather. It keeps them hydrated. And so I have a bunch of watermelons ready to go to give them some hydration and some extra nutrients. Absolutely love Kreiona and Charlotte. And thank you again for all of the plant foldies that may drop a super sticker or super thanks, a little monetary tip to support their food, their supplies, anything that we need to help fund some of their supplies. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys like this little clip. Before we go back to the Home Depot, I did want to show you some grocery store plant shopping at Sprouts in McKinney, Texas. This is just a short clip, but as I was actually going to get some fresh spinach for Charlotte and Kreiona, I happened to go walk into Sprouts, which is a local grocery store out in McKinney, Texas, and take a look at these gorgeous Filidendrin ring of fires. And this is under large foliage. And if you saw the price, that is a pretty amazing price for something this large. Again, it is one of those situations now where a lot of these quote rare plants are not really rare because they have been produced to the point where they are now budget friendly. So you can see right here, $14.99 is what you would pay for a plant like this. I know that a lot of people will say that a lot of these plants have just become a little bit too inexpensive in a sense that anybody can afford it. And I would just say there are still going to be lots of rare and uncommon plants that are going to still be quite expensive. There's always new varieties that are popping up. But one thing that I've learned over the years about just getting houseplants is if you follow the current trends, yes, you are going to spend quite a bit of money on plants. But if you just exercise a little bit of patience, you will be able to get something like this that used to be super rare for only $14.99 at a grocery store. Plant foldies, and this is again the reason why you want to diversify where you do your plant shopping. I mean, you can see right here for my plant foldies that love rare and uncommon succulents. Look at this beautiful Euphorbia Ghost right here. That is such a beautiful plant, and I believe, well, how much is this? I think it is $19.99 or somewhere around that ballpark. And that is such a beautiful plant. I really love the fact that it is got that ghostly tone on it. And so I'm just going to go pan around here and show you some of these plants. Again, plant foldies, leave in the comment section what you think. And throughout this video, I am going to just put in a few clips here and there just because I did film some content and I just happened to not be able to edit them lately. So hopefully you will enjoy this video because at the very end you will not believe what I found at the Home Depot at the very end. So definitely watch the video till the very end. But you'll see right here, grocery store plant shopping. That's something that I need to start doing again. I often visit Kroger's, Sprouts, and H-E-B, which are local grocery stores out in the North Dallas area. I would even say Sprouts grocery stores are places that you can get plants if you are a local plant foldie that lives out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, plant foldies, leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think of these plants because look at how stunning these cactus and succulents are. And then take a look at these Filidendrin ring of fires. And And I remember seeing these Filidendrin Campi by I think Growers Bench for like, I think $19.98, but they were not the sizes of this, $14.99. And this is a prime example of a plant that doesn't necessarily need to be variegated to be a beautiful statement piece plant. I mean, take a look at the texture of the leaves, and then we can see right here, I believe this one is a large philodendron, either black cardinal, or if it's not a black cardinal, it's going to be a red imperial. Large foliage for only $14.99. We definitely need to be doing some more grocery store plant shopping. I am just happy that I was able to look at plants while just going to the grocery store to find some fresh veggies and fresh food for my baby chickens. I mean, you can see right here, we have another beautiful philodendron ring of fire. And you know, plant foldies, I know in the last couple of my videos I've been super chatty. I'm going to be super chatty again throughout this video just because I have a lot of plant insights, or at least plant commentary. You know, as far as me making this content and trying to make it a daily big box or plant shopping video, it hasn't been the most consistent, and I know that I've repeated myself multiple times on it, but I really do feel terrible that I'm not able to produce that big box or plant shopping video on a daily basis, because I honestly miss chatting with the plant foldies. So hopefully this week that's coming up, we're going to have some more consistency, because I do miss going to big box stores and filming plants like this. I mean, look at this, Proven Winners Leafjoy plants again. Now these are being grown hydroponically, which means they are growing in straight water. I love the idea of growing plants in straight water, because oftentimes when you're just growing these plants hydroponically, there isn't really a high chance of having plant pests, but at the same time, like for instance, this beautiful calathea fishbone, really love the texture of this particular calathea. The thing about it is, when you're growing plants hydroponically in like just straight water, you have to make sure that you are still providing them with plant nutrients, which can sometimes be tricky. I know that there are some solutions where you just drop a couple of drops in some water, but it's not always that simple. And the thing about it is, whenever you are growing something such as this Proven Winners Leafjoy H2O bowl, you still want to make sure you're trying to give these plants the best conditions as possible. So a lot of these plants still need bright indirect light. Now, as far as this right here, this Thinanthe, for instance, I have been wanting to get something like this for a while. This is a Thinanthe setosa. The problem is, you can see that some of the leaves get even a little bit crispy. It looks like this one needs to have some water replenish. And I hope as I show these videos, and yes, this is exactly what I wanted to show you, is number one, can we talk about how Proven Winners Leafjoy plants, these indoor tropical plants, they are really bringing in the heat by putting anthuriums in straight hydroponics. So here's the thing about this anthurium. There is definitely a craze for anthuriums, especially these velvety texture ones. And the fact that Proven Winners is really starting their own trend by, you know, producing plants that they're growing hydroponically. We've got terrariums, and now we have plants like anthuriums growing in straight water. I know a lot of people will grow their anthuriums in tree fern bark, lechuza pond, hydroponic substrates, all of that. I just love the fact that they have them now at a big box store. And some people may find that a little bit concerning, because, you know, some people will say that, again, big box stores could potentially take small businesses, local businesses out of business. I don't necessarily think that, because at the end of the day, everybody is going to spend their money where it is I guess cost effective, but not all big box stores are always going to be cost effective. And I keep preaching this because I want to tell people you can still find cost effective plants such as anthuriums, philodendrons, rare and uncommon plants at local and small businesses for a very cost effective plant price. But at the same time, say you live in a small town where you don't have the access to local and small businesses, and you're not necessarily one that wants to buy plants online, you can go to a Home Depot, a Lowe's, a Target, a Walmart, any type of big box store, and at least you'll have some access to this. So again, plant foldies, like I've said before, I just want everybody to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to just where we source out our plants. I like to go plant shopping at multiple areas. I mean, the fact that I get a lot of my plants also from overseas through a broker, I just think that it just opens the horizons for us to be able to just access different types of plants. And, you know, I do ask the plant foldies that are watching this video today, let me know in the comment section where you actually buy your plants. Do you prefer to buy your plants at big box stores like Home Depot, for instance, or do you strictly support local and small businesses? I'd love to hear your comments. Or do you even venture out as far as like getting plants from overseas? Now, as far as the succulent and cactus selections at Home Depot, I would say that they definitely have quite a bit of them. I would say that Home Depot, at least based on my experiences, has had the best selection of cactus and succulents. They are priced affordably. Unfortunately, I'm not the best at growing cactus and succulents. I will say that if you are going to grow plants like these succulents, for instance, you want to definitely put them in fast draining soil. You don't want these succulents to stay wet for too long. And if you're going to water succulents, it's best to not get their leaves or foliage wet, or at least let them sit in water, because it can potentially rot these plants. I have seen that with some of my echeverias. Unfortunately, they are on the brink of going to plant heaven. So that's just a little bit of a tip of mine. You know, I'm not the best in terms of just giving plant care tips for succulents and cactus, but take a look at these living stones right here. I'm just going to pick some up and show you their selection at this Home Depot. And it's really interesting just to see how many varieties of these living stones or lithos that are available. I remember seeing an arrangement at actual Plant Con in Houston where they had so many varieties in this little dish tray, and I thought that was really interesting. This is something that I would explore at some point, maybe next year. And that's the thing, plant foldies, as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, is as much as we want to go buy plants, as much as we want to go plant shopping, things are on sale, we see some unique varieties, it doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to go out there and go plant shopping. Sometimes going window plant shopping is the best option, where you can still walk around. For instance, just turn on one of my YouTube videos and just walk alongside with me to look at plants. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some beautiful patio containers. So we've got a quarter-line Hawaiian tea plant, as well as some beautiful caladiums. And I was actually on Instagram not too long ago where somebody actually was growing a bunch of beautiful varieties of caladiums indoors. And I did a poll again where I asked the plant foldie community on whether you would grow caladiums indoors, and the majority said they would not. So for me, I do want to consider growing caladiums indoors, but that would have to be something next year. I'm really focused on just getting all of my Aglaonemas to the best health that they can, to really have them push a lot of growth. I have a lot of my hanging baskets, for instance, outside, so we can push out a lot of growth before it gets cold in the winter. Now over here, we've got the quintessential Hydra Helix. This one is just a typical English ivy, and my English ivies, I have 2 of them that are growing outdoors in a shaded area in a potted up container. So no, I am not recommending growing English ivy in the ground, because unless you are prepared for it to take over the space, I would just definitely let it stay in a container. I would grow them indoors though, because then you won't really get any spider mites. Or not indoors, I'm sorry, outdoors plant Foldies. Yeah, indoors, if you have English ivy, they're going to get spider mites. It's inevitable. Now over here are some variegated ajugas. I really like the look of it, and to my surprise, I didn't even think that ajugas were actual perennials. I remember leaving it outdoors in a container. North Dallas ended up getting ice and snow, and then lo and behold, this past spring, I actually got the purple ajugas to come back. So I thought that was really interesting. That is a plant I find that looks more like an herb, some type of vegetable. I really do like the colors, and would be something that I would even consider trying to grow indoors. I am going to need to do a little bit of research, because I wouldn't mind even feeding it to my my 2 hens, Charlotte and Kreiona. And with some of the things that I'm growing outdoors now, so I have actually thrown a bunch of just pinto beans, red beans that I didn't intend to eat, and they sprouted, and I was able to feed my baby chickens. Well, they're not really babies anymore, as you can tell, but I ended up getting some more foliage for them to eat up. And speaking of foliage, you can see right over here, plant Foldies. We're just walking through the outdoor garden section, so you can see we've got lots of ornamental type grasses and things of that nature. And perhaps next year I'm going to do a little bit more in terms of getting my garden YouTube presentable, because right now it is overgrown with weeds. It is one of my gardens where I kind of am looking to do more of a Japanese garden, but that kind of went off the roof when I ended up just letting the weeds just outgrow itself. But anyways, let me stop rambling for a second and just show you how beautiful this foliage is. This is called the Zora Flower. So this is another tropical flower that likes to thrive in full sun. And you can see right here, we've got a full ocean of Croton petras. And with fall just around the corner, you already know, plant Foldies, we are going to be getting a lot of Crotons available. Some of them are unique and uncommon varieties. I definitely want to get. We'll see what that looks like long term, because Crotons, again, prefer to be grown outdoors in full sun. So be prepared for that. I don't think that they can really grow well indoors long term, but I could be, mistaken. Maybe somebody, an experienced plant grower, another plant Foldie that's been silent and that watches my videos might be able to grow these, or have been growing Crotons long term. And you can just see this is a very full Home Depot location, and that's why I love going big box or plant shopping, because for the most part, even in the summertime, at least this year, we've seen lots and lots of big box stores carrying a wide selection of plants. Now we're going to start looking at the indoor tropical plants that they have available. But before we get into that, please don't swipe away, click away. I did want to insert a little quick unboxing video of an unboxing gift box from Victoria's Garden in the Woodlands, Texas. You can see that Ate Len, Lenny, she just sent me a card, and I just really appreciate her. She is actually the head of the Texas Rare Market, as well as the Texas Aroid Show. And so she just offered to send me a gift box of some surprise plants. So I will be doing an unboxing. Know that the Texas Rare Market is actually ongoing, and you can just follow Victoria's garden on Instagram. Please follow her and you will be able to see some amazing rare plants if you live out in the Houston, Texas area, specifically the Woodlands, where they have lots of local vendors. So the first one we're going to be unboxing is, and actually speaking of unboxing, notice how well and how packaged, well packaged, Victoria's Garden sent these plants. I mean, granted, they didn't travel that very far, and I was actually concerned that these plants may not come to me in healthy shape because of the hot weather. But as you can see right here, perfect condition. And then this is one that is near and dear to my heart. This is an Epipremnum pinnatum, Cibuplothos aurea. So this is another plant that is endemic to my family's home country, the Philippines. This is something that I will eventually just grow outdoors to get a little longer vine and eventually chop and prop and just start propagating this. This is a fast grower. And then you can see the next one right here is going to be another type of Hoya. I remember reacting to one of her Instagram posts of the silver or the snow Kui silver Hoya, and she offered to send me some cuttings. I thought she was just going to send me some Hoyas, but clearly she has sent me some amazing plants. And again, maraming salamat po, Ate Lenny, for just taking the time to actually package these plants. These are in perfect shape. So if anybody is interested in buying plants from my Ate Lenny, which means older sister, it is a sign of respect whenever we say Ate or Kuya. Kuya means older brother in Tagalog. So you already know, Plant Foldies, I like to share a little bit of my heritage, a little bit of my culture. But as you can see right here, this one is a whole vine of snow Kui silver Hoya. So it's in sphagnum moss, and you can see there's some new growth. So I need to do research on how to propagate it. I don't know if I just need to leave the vine in there wrapped around and just increase the humidity. One thing I will also notice in the Victoria's Garden package is that the soil is not really wet. It's more on the drier side. And what I've noticed is if you ship plants, and this is something that I learned, and they're just newly watered, it can actually bake or rot the roots because of the increased heat. So I would always say just go ahead and send plants when the soil substrate or whatever substrate is on the drier side. That's what I would recommend. But you can see right here, perfect packaging. Definitely follow Victoria's Garden on Instagram. Follow her, let her know you're a plant foldie and you can buy plants. And oh my goodness, did she really send me a free Monstera Burle Marx Flame? Yes, she did. And this is the reason why, as kababayans, which means countrymen, I am just really proud to be a Filipino American or somebody that is Filipino, because here's the thing about Filipinos. We have this motto called kabayan, which is countrymen. We support each other. We take care of each other. Wherever you are on this world, if there is another Filipino, we tend to just kind of stick together and help each other out. And I am just so thankful that she gave me a bunch of free plants. These are rare and uncommon plants that you can find at Victoria's Garden. On Instagram, she does do the Texas Rare Plant Market. So definitely follow that Instagram as well. But you can see right here, these are some of the gift box, and it's always nice to receive plants for free. So maraming salamat po, Ate Lenny, and I hope that your small business continues to thrive. plant foldies. We are making it to the main event, which is we're going to look at the indoor tropical plants, specifically from Proven Winners Leafjoy plants, Vigoro plant, and of course Costa Farms trending tropical plants. So you can see right over here we've got some Ficus lyrata, or the fiddle fig leaf tree. Love this right here. You can see that it is a massive tree, and this is another plant that does need quite a bit of light. I remember seeing these in the Philippines where they were just full-blown trees. I was mentioning in some of my other videos where if you get a chance, plant foldies, definitely check out some of my older content. I have lots of playlists, so if you are bored or you want to binge watch some of my videos, it definitely helps support the channel. But you'll see a lot of content that I have released over the year and a half that I've been doing big box store plant shopping videos and just plant content in general. But as you can see right here, look at how interesting some of these cactus are. So this is the Smart Planet plants, and we're just going to go ahead and take a little gander of some more of these beautiful succulents and cactus. I did want to go highlight a couple of these rosette type echeveria. So this one right here is one of my favorites. This one I believe is the Lola. So I actually had one of these, and this one looks a little bit more of a sun stress one because you can see that it's received a little bit more light. One thing that this echeveria does not like is to be out in full sun and heat. Didn't realize that some succulents, actually a lot of succulents, don't like to be in really hot weather, because when you think about succulents and cactus, you really think of like a desert environment, but that is not always the case, and that is a learning curve for me. But as you can see right here, if I was in the hunt to get these types of succulents, like this echeveria pink diamond, look at how pretty it is, but you'll notice that on the bottom of the leaf there's a couple that have rotted. That is a result of the actual echeveria getting water stuck in there, and then it just ends up rotting it. So these plants, you really don't want to use a hose to water it or top water it. You want to really bottom water a lot of these plants right here. So we're just going to walk around and I'll pick up some more of these selections before we get into the indoor tropical plants. So we've got some beautiful Proven Winners Leafjoy plants. This is a Ficus umbellata, originally $29.98. It is now on sale for $14.98. So we've got some Proven Winners Leafjoy house plants for 50% off at this Home Depot. Look at how beautiful the leaves are. And here's a little bit of a story time. So I remember buying a Ficus umbellata for $29.97. I ended up growing this one in my west-facing window in my master bedroom. It did not do well. It ended up getting spider mites. It would never push out any new leaves. But this summer, I ended up putting outside this Ficus umbellata that was struggling. So it literally had like 2 leaves, and I put it in full sun. It gets watered with a automated sprinkler in the morning and late afternoon, early evening, and it has pushed out so much new growth. It really does need to be put in a really high level of light. I would say full sun is really what it needs, and that is something that I really want to push on this YouTube channel is don't be afraid to take your plants outdoors if you are struggling with them, especially if you have climates that are pretty consistent. But even so, you can still take a lot of your plants outdoors during the spring and summer if you have warm weather, all the way up to late fall. I know that I will try to keep all of my plants, specifically my ficus plants, my aglaonema, all of my plants that are growing in my back patio outdoors until winter is coming, or winter comes. But you can see right over here, these are beautiful Ficus umbellata. A lot of Japanese houseplant enthusiasts actually have those growing indoors, and what they do is they will actually bend and twist the trunks to give it more of a bonsai type look. So that's something that I wanted to actually put out there in terms of just ways to style your plants, but also ways to grow your plants and give them massive growth. So you can see right here, we've also got some Pachira aquaticas, or what you would call the money tree plant. And all of these plants, and oh my goodness, before we get into it, do you see what I see? Yes, we just talked about getting a free Monstera Burle Marx Flame from my Ate Lenny from Victoria's Garden, but take a look at this. This is so elusive, only for $19.98, y'all. Costa Farms Trending Tropicals Monstera Burle Marx Flame at this Home Depot in this small town, North Houston. Like, what? This is amazing. And if you know anything about Monstera Burle Marx Flame, it is an extremely slow grower. So to even see these sizes and just the development of it, yeah. So I am definitely going to buy this plant today, because why not, right? It is a Monstera Burle Marx Flame, and I think I am kind of suckered into the, I guess, hype, the trend of this plant. But you can see right here, this one is ready to climb up a pole, y'all. It is ready to grow and fenestrate and live its best life. So we're gonna see what kind of growth I'm going to get. I definitely am going to I'm definitely going to go ahead and end up repotting it when I take it home with me. I'm going to put it on a totem pole, moss pole already, so that way we can grow it. And I will be growing my Monstera Burle Marx Flame outdoors to see if it can push out some new growth. I'm probably going to heavily fertilize it as well. So that's another secret that I've been doing in terms of just pushing a lot of growth from my plants, is I've been pushing the boundaries as far as fertilizing my plants using, you guessed it, all-purpose Miracle-Gro fertilizer using the garden hose mixer. So it has done phenomenal in terms of getting my plants to grow and to mix the amount that is needed to where it's not going to over fertilize the plants, but they are being consistently grown. But as far as Costa Farms Trending Tropical Plants, kudos to y'all, Costa Farms, for getting a Burle Marx Flame available for the general public. I know that this plant, even a small one, would cost more than $100. Now granted, the pricing has gone down a little bit, and that's something I did want to talk about in terms of just patience for plants. But sometimes you feel like you have to get the plant, and I totally get it. I mean, there are plants that I wouldn't mind buying. For instance, please do an online search for Aglaonema Crown of Siam, Aglaonema zolina, and you will understand why sometimes, exercising patience and waiting for the plant's price to go down is not always feasible, because they're just so pretty. So that's just my, intakes, my insights for that. But as you can see right here, there are several varieties of Monstera Burle Marx Flame. I would even say that for those that are interested, they would probably end up buying these. So here's the problem I have with plants like this that are highly sought after. I mean, you talk about the jumbo Monstera Thai constellations, for instance, but Burle Marx Flame, I could see people just buying up all of these plants in terms of reselling it. Totally get it. That might be somebody's side hustle, but that's what keeps the plant prices up in the market, is when people start to buy plants that are cost effective at a big box store and still trying to resell it. But you can see right here, look at that. That root is ready to go. You can see that there is a new growth point. So in terms of Burle Marx Flame, I'm curious, plant Foldies, what do you think about this plant discovery, this plant find at this Home Depot while going shopping at a big box store for house plants? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know your insights as well. And another plant that I wouldn't mind adding to my plant collection at some point is a variegated Dracaena Sandriana. So you can see that this is the variegated lucky bamboo plant. A lot of Asian cultures will consider this plant as a prosperity or lucky plant to have in the household. Now, this is actually not a bamboo. It is part of the Dracaena family, and most Dracaenas are low light tolerant and drought tolerant. The Dracaena Sandriana, however, is not. You're going to need to have some consistent watering for it in order for it to do well. And then again, let's take a look at this Monstera Burle Marx Flame. Like, I am still going oodles and googles over this plant because that is just amazing. And then I also like this trending tropical Scindapsus Java Platinum. So it also looks like a silver hero, really super light silver foliage. I love that as well. And it is another plant that I would love to get eventually. But the thing about Scindapsus is they're just a little bit slower of a grower for me. I like plants that if it's going to be trailing like this, they need to be growing a little bit faster for me. So as far as this one though, this one would be an exception where I would actually add it. There are many variegated varieties of Scindapsus, and it won't be long until we start seeing more variegated Scindapsus in the big box stores like Home Depot and Lowe's. So we'll see what that looks like long term. But in terms of all of these plants right here, we've got beautiful Philodendron golden crocodile, and mine has been neglected underwater. That one probably just needs to go outdoors as well because it is in my plant room. You know, I have a plant room, and I've meant to actually do a house plant tour for the longest time. I just may end up not doing it, but like I said again, if I'm going to do a house plant tour, it's definitely going to be on my YouTube membership tier, the Super Plant Foldies. So again, if you are watching this video and you're watching it on a computer, hit the join button. It's only for $2.99, but that $2.99 helps with the sustainability, the longevity of this YouTube channel. It definitely adds to some of the passive income that I need in terms of being able to just drive around all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area or take trips to make this type of content. So definitely check that out. Or if you're not watching this on a computer, you can always click on the join button or the link in the comments section, which I will have pinned for you. So as far as all of that, you can see here again, we have lots of different types of Costa Farms trending tropical plants. Really love the look of these trending tropical plants. And, you know, as far as this Home Depot, they have quite a bit of Costa Farms plants. Typically, Home Depot doesn't carry it, or at least the ones in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but you can see we also have some proven winners, philodendrons right over here. We've got a Philodendrin Painted Lady, a Philodendrin Ring of Fire, and let's take a gander of what else they have right over here. Beautiful one for only $14.98, this Philodendrin Painted Lady. So here are some Vigoro plants. This one right over here is a Ficus Audrey, and you know, my Ficus Audrey is on the road of just pushing more growth just because I have been growing them outdoors in full sun. $15.98, and you know, every time I go to this particular Home Depot, they do have quite a bit of selection of plants. You can see right here, this is another one for $15.98. I like the semi-velvety texture of this leaf. It's definitely a grower if you give it the light that it needs. Now, if you don't give it enough light, ficus in general are just not going to be happy. They're not going to do well. So just make sure you are providing quite a bit of bright indirect light for it to do well. And then you can see right here, plant Foldies. We've got some beautiful plants by Vigoro Plants. Well, actually, these are Aglaonema Frosted Ghosts from Costa Farms, or at least that's where this came from. And you can see beautiful light pastel green foliage. I really love the look of this one, and this is another one that you can put in a lower light setting and it will still do very well for you. I saw this a little while ago and looks like they still have a couple left over. So I'm curious to see which one you would buy as I pick through them. I am definitely going to buy this one. I know that I am splurging a little bit because I am going to buy the Burle Marx Flame and then also one of these Aglaonema Frosted Ghosts. I think I may end up getting this one just because there's quite a bit of plants already. Let me know in the comment section which one you would choose. And this is another one that will grow fairly fast. I just love Aglaonemas. And again, plant Foldies, if you don't have an Aglaonema, please consider getting one. They're super easy, especially the more green varieties. They need just enough light. We'll see what they look like in terms of anything else. You know, as far as Aglaonema as well, they do not like to be in a lot of water, but at the same time, so this is another question I get often, why some of the Aglaonema leaves end up melting and becoming like brown and just start melting away. That is a result of inconsistent watering. So yes, you can let Aglaonema dry out for long periods of time, but not too long. You want to make sure that as soon as the soil dries out completely, you go ahead and water it. If you are like me, where you can neglect your Aglaonema a little bit and you water it, just be prepared for the Aglaonema to get some melted leaves. That is something that is a drawback for Aglaonema, especially the more colorful varieties. But you'll see right there, plant Foldies, we've got some beautiful Frosted Ghost Aglaonema. I am definitely going to get one of these today. It just depends on which one I end up getting, but I love the fact that, you know, this Home Depot in a small town north of Houston has a wide selection, and I think that's the reason why I love going big box store plant shopping as well whenever I am out of town. Because yes, Dallas, Fort Worth, plant nurseries, big box stores will have a pretty big selection of plants. But at the same time, we also are lucky in the fact that whenever I get to travel, big box stores are generally readily available. And I still want to explore a lot of the Houston area big box stores. I believe that all areas, different areas of the country will have different types of plants available. I've seen some really cool and uncommon plants. And, you know, as far as collaboration, so I am excited to possibly collaborate with some other plant YouTubers out there, specifically ones that are doing big box store plant shopping videos. It looks like that is the current trend that is happening on the plant YouTube spectrum. So stay tuned for that, plant Foldies. I will give you guys some more insights as that becomes more available and as that project starts to move. But as you can see right here, plant Foldies, I'm going to walk around and just show you some more Costa Farms hanging baskets. You already know Costa Farms hanging baskets are one of my favorites because you get a lot of a house plant for a very good value price. That's the thing about big box stores. In general, you will get cost-effective, inexpensive big box store plants for that really good price. So you can see here, Filidendrin Heteroecium, just a green form. Love this, pretty fast grower. The Filidendrin Heteroecium, as compared to the Epipremnum aureum or the pothos plant, tends to be more on the slower growth, but it's still a pretty fast growing plant. And then this is a very interesting Hedera helix, or what you call the Hedera helix or English ivy, that has some interesting texture. And then we have some Rex begonias right here. I think this one might be the Begonia Rex Red Kiss. And then we have some more hanging baskets right over here. Feel free to leave in the comment section, plant Foldies, what you think of some of the plants you've seen today at this Home Depot. And I'm going to round it out by just showing you a couple more exotic angel plants. You'll notice that this Costa Farms exotic angel in a 5-inch planter is actually $1 cheaper at this Home Depot as compared to the Lowe's locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Normally it's $8.98 at Lowe's, but this Home Depot has these exotic angel plants for $7.98. So that is a full $1 discount. And this is the reason why I have to tell everybody, compare and contrast your pricing. Don't always assume that one big box store is going to be cheaper than others. Definitely don't count out local and small businesses as well, because they may end up having some really good cost-effective plant pricing. Just compare and contrast, just like any other person would do for any type of things that you would be buying or going shopping for. here is that Hydra helix again, and we have some more Costa Farms exotic angel plants. This one is a variegated peperomia teardrop, beautiful plant as well, something that's been under my radar as well, but I am really just trying not to have as many house plants unless it is a specific one like Aglaonema. Foldies, you can see right over here, we've got some more exotic angel plants that I've just shown you. One of my favorites is this Epipremnum aureum neon pothos. It is a performer. What a beautiful plant. What a simple but gorgeous plant that I feel like everybody needs to add into their plant collection. You know, the neon colored plants are just amazing. And you'll see right over here, we've got another lemon lime dracaena. Beautiful plant, super underrated. I doubt that anybody is really running to get any of these dracaenas, but they are beautiful plants. They are also known as the dragon tree plants. Low light tolerant, drought tolerant, very simple ones that you need to add. And then you can see over here another variegated teardrop peperomia. This one would be easy to propagate as well through cuttings, and that's something I've been doing a lot lately, is just propagating a lot of plants, a lot of plants that my grandmother has really inspired me to just grow. So we'll see. And it's, in terms of my grandmother, again, thank you guys for just asking and wanting to know updates, she is now home. She is able to sit upright on her own. So she is fastly, she's just recovering very quickly. But like I told my grandmother, as much of as you want to get better soon, just make sure you're not overexerting yourself. And so you will definitely see my grandmother in future videos. We will talk about her journey to recovery, her plants, anything that is related. And again, I will be posting some of her propagated plants that are on sale on my Instagram story. So if you're interested in buying the plants, you can send a claim for it. And we will see about trying to ship those out to you very soon. And for the plant foldies that have expressed that interest, really appreciate that, because we finally got my grandmother to kind of focus in, because she just propagates plants and just keeps multiplying them. So she might as well make a little bit of a small profit for it. But plant foldies, again, I will be getting this Aglaonema Frosted Ghost, a Costa Farms Trending Tropicals Monstera Burle Marx Flame. I have really enjoyed taking you alongside with me, showing you some clips of my chickens and my unboxing from Victoria's Garden. Again, if you want more content, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier, the Super Plant Foldies. And as always, my name is Richie at Grow Folds. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, with all the notification bell on. If you see videos popping up on the screen, definitely click on those videos. There are playlists, and definitely watch those videos until my next video that I will premiere tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.